Hi, hello everyone! I'm Toshi from Japan and tourist guide for foreigners. In this video, I'll show you
9 new things Japan has changed in 2025. Japan is currently seeing a massive surge in popularity among foreign tourists. In 2024, the number of visitors reached an all-time high of over 36 million, a staggering 47.1% increase compared to 2023. That's more than 10 million additional tourists in just 1 year. With this influx of travelers, many changes have taken place in Japan, both positive and negative, that you should know before planning your trip. On the positive side, the Suica transportation IC card has been improved, making it even easier to get around. There's also been an expansion of direct international flight routes to Japan, and the introduction of ride-sharing services in Osaka. However, there are some downsides as well. For instance, tax-free shopping rules have changed, making it less favorable for tourists. The recent yen appreciation due to interest rate hikes may increase your travel costs, and cities like Kyoto have introduced new accommodation taxes, adding to your expenses. In this video, I've summarized the 9 most important updates about traveling to Japan in 2025. Watching this will help you have a smoother, more comfortable, and more enjoyable trip to Japan. Plus, I provide tour guide services in Japan, recommended travel itineraries,
and custom-made travel itinerary creation service. You can find more information in the description below. So, let's get started.
Number 1. Japan's new tax-free rules. As I mentioned in a previous video, Japan's tax-free shopping system is undergoing major changes. This is due to an increase in cases where foreign visitors misuse the system by buying tax-free goods and reselling them within Japan for profit. To address this, the government is revamping the system, and I've got 4 major updates to share with you. First, the tax-free system is switching to a refund-based process. Previously, you didn't have to pay consumption tax at the time of purchase. Now, you'll pay the tax upfront and receive a refund when you leave Japan. This is similar to systems in Germany or France and is aimed at reducing fraud. Second, the requirement for special packaging for consumables will be eliminated. This will streamline store operations and significantly reduce waiting times when shopping tax-free. Third, the 50,000 yen limit for tax-free purchases will be removed. This means you can now buy higher value items tax-free. However, for purchases over 1 million yen, stores will record serial numbers or identification codes for the products. Fourth, these changes will officially take effect starting November 1st, 2026. With these updates in mind, you can make the most of your shopping experience in Japan while avoiding any surprises.
Enjoy shopping smarter and tax-free in Japan.
Number 2. New hotel tax in Japan. Big changes for 2025. Recently, Kyoto announced the introduction of Japan's highest accommodation tax to date. Starting March 2026, the upper limit for the tax will increase from 1,000 yen per night to 10,000 yen per night. What does this mean? If you're staying in high-end hotels costing 100,000 yen or more per night, you'll now pay an additional 10,000 yen as accommodation tax. However, don't worry. Budget and mid-range hotels won't see any significant changes, so most travelers won't feel much of an impact. While 10,000 yen may seem high, it's worth noting that luxury accommodations in Japan are still considered relatively affordable compared to those in Western countries. So overall, Japan remains a great value destination for travelers. This change in Kyoto may influence other areas to follow suit. For example, as mentioned in my previous video, Hokkaido in the north and Okinawa in the southern regions with warmer climates have already announced new accommodation taxes as well.
Stay tuned for updates on these changes and subscribe to my channel for more tips on traveling smarter in Japan.
Number 3. New Suica, perfect for tourists. Exciting news for travelers in 2025. The welcome Suica, which was previously only available as a physical card, is finally getting a mobile version. This new version is set to launch in the spring of 2025, and it comes with some fantastic updates. First, the validity of the balance will be extended from 28 days to 180 days. That means, if you're planning to return to Japan within 6 months, you won't need to worry about using up the remaining balance. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, why not just use the regular Mobile Suica, which doesn't have an expiration date? That's a great question, but the new Welcome Mobile Suica actually has 2 big advantages. The first is that you can use it to directly link your Shinkansen tickets. You don't even need to buy a physical ticket anymore. Just tap your phone at the gate to board the Shinkansen. This works for non-reserved seats on the Tohoku, Akita, Yamagata, Joetsu, and Hokuriku Shinkansen lines. The second advantage is that the Welcome Mobile Suica is designed specifically for foreign tourists, so you'll get multilingual support, including English. On the other hand, the regular Mobile Suica is mainly for Japanese users, so the support is usually only in Japanese, which could be tricky if you run into any issues. Now, here's one important note. Unfortunately, like the regular Mobile Suica, the Welcome Mobile Suica doesn't work with foreign Android devices. If that's the case for you, you'll need to stick to the physical Suica card.
And don't worry, I've already explained on how to get one in my previous video, so check that out if you need help.
Number 4. Record-breaking tourism in Japan. Japan is currently seeing a massive surge in popularity among foreign tourists. In 2024, the number of foreign tourists visiting Japan exceeded 36 million, marking a 47.1% increase compared to the previous year. That's more than 10 million additional visitors in just 1 year. This incredible growth was driven by an increase in tourists from Southeast Asia, Europe, North America, Australia, and even the Middle East. However, it's important to note that this is just the beginning. The Japanese government has set an ambitious target of welcoming 60 million foreign visitors annually by 2030, nearly double the current numbers. To make this happen, as I mentioned in my previous video, Japan is rolling out a series of initiatives like expanding international airport terminals, introducing new visas, and easing visa requirements for Chinese travelers. But with more tourists comes a challenge: over-tourism. Popular spots like Kyoto are already feeling the effects, and this issue could spread to other areas as well. That's why the Japanese government is encouraging visitors to explore beyond the big cities and famous tourist spots. However, there are so many hidden gems in Japan's rural areas that are absolutely worth visiting.
If you are curious about where to go, check out my previous video for recommendations on Japan's lesser known destinations.
Number 5. Cheap Japan travel could be ending? Here is why. Over the past few years, the Japanese yen has hit historic lows, at one point marking a 30-year record low. For foreign tourists, this meant that traveling to Japan became about 40% cheaper compared to pre-pandemic times, which brought in visitors from all over the world. But this trend might be coming to an end. On January 24, 2025, the Bank of Japan announced an increase in its policy interest rate to 0.5%, the highest level in 17 years. So, what does this mean? One major factor behind the weak yen has been interest rate differences between Japan and other countries. With this rate hike, Japan's interest rates are rising, which could lead to a stronger yen. In other words, the cost of traveling to Japan may go up. Of course, these dynamics are complex, and nothing is guaranteed. But it's something worth keeping in mind if you're planning a trip.
If you want to enjoy Japan at a lower cost, now might be the best time to visit.
Number 6. Essential tips for Visit Japan Web. Let's talk about Visit Japan Web, a service that simplifies immigration and customs procedures when entering Japan. By registering in advance, you can save time at the airport. But recently, I've been getting to common questions about this service. First, people ask, is Visit Japan Web still necessary now that the pandemic is over? The answer is yes. This service is not the same as the old COVID-19 vaccine app. It's designed to streamline immigration procedures for all travelers. Second, people are asking about fake apps and websites. And yes, there's a real issue with scammers. Some fake services ask for your credit card info and even steal your money. Here's what you need to know. Visit Japan Web is not an app, it's a website. If you've downloaded an app claiming to be Visit Japan Web, delete it immediately. Here's the official website URL. Recently, the Japanese government changed the URL to combat fake sites, so double check you're using the correct one. Using Visit Japan Web is not mandatory, but I highly recommend it. Without it, you'll need to fill out a paper customs form and stand in longer lines. If you use it, you'll need to show the QR code it generates at customs. I recommend you take a screenshot of the code in case airport Wi-Fi is slow.
By using this service, make your trip to Japan as smooth as possible.
Number 7. Ride sharing finally comes to Japan. Big news! Starting in April 2025, ride-sharing services will officially launch in Osaka, running 24/7. This marks a major shift for Japan, where ride-sharing has been heavily restricted by law. You might be surprised to learn that, in Japan, services like Uber currently don't work the way they do in other countries. Here, Uber operates as a taxi dispatch service, not a true rideshare. But that's about to change. Why now? The upcoming Osaka Kansai Expo 2025 is the key driver. With an expected 28.2 million visitors, transportation demand will skyrocket. Osaka is already facing a shortage of about 1,880 taxis and 3,250 drivers per day during the event. Allowing ride-sharing is seen as a solution to fill this gap. I believe this could be a game changer. If Osaka proves ride-sharing can succeed, it might finally expand to other parts of Japan.
I'll keep you updated with any new information, so please subscribe to my channel.
Number 8. Japan's airlines expand routes in 2025. Great news for anyone planning to visit Japan. Japan's major airlines are expanding their international routes, making travel to and from Japan even more convenient. Japan Airlines, one of the country's flagship carriers, announced new routes starting in 2025. These include Tokyo Narita to Chicago and San Diego, Osaka Kansai to Los Angeles, and Nagoya Chubu to Honolulu. All Nippon Airways is also adding new routes, starting in October 2024. These include Tokyo Narita to Perth, and Tokyo Haneda to Milan, Stockholm, and Istanbul. What does this mean for travelers? First, better accessibility to Japan from around the world. Second, the possibility of lower airfare prices as airlines compete to attract more passengers. This is fantastic news, especially with the rising number of visitors from Europe and North America. More competition among airlines could make flights more affordable for everyone.
I'll keep you updated on new announcements, so don't forget to subscribe for the latest travel news about Japan.
Number 9. Ride Japan's anime bullet trains. Are you an anime fan? Then you're going to love this news. Japan's iconic Shinkansen bullet trains are getting a fun makeover with anime-themed trains set to run in 2025. First, we have the One Piece Shinkansen, celebrating the beloved story of Luffy and his crew. This train will run between Osaka and Kyushu starting in spring 2025. It's perfect for anime fans traveling to Japan. Next, there's the Disney-themed Shinkansen, bringing the magic of Disney to the rails. This special train will operate from February 21, 2025 through mid-September 2025. Keep in mind that these themed trains won't run on every schedule, so be sure to check the official website for exact times and train numbers. Riding one of these unique trains is a great way to add a touch of fun and adventure to your Japan trip. So, plan ahead and get ready for an unforgettable experience.
How was today's video? If you would like to request a guide in Japan or have any questions regarding your travel itinerary, please contact me from the link in the description section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like button. See you in my next video. Bye!